Hello, our cows. It's Auntie Colleen. For those of you that are not new and more seasoned, our cow consultants, know that I am also referred to as your Auntie Colleen because Patty and I are literally best friends, not wax besties, but real besties. And Sensi is what brought us together and how I even met her. However, our love for each other um, is so real that I am even Audrey's godmother. I am her fairy godmother. So I have always been a big fan of our cows. And for those of you that are newer, welcome. And I am your Auntie Colleen. I can be your fairy godmother too. But I absolutely love you guys. You guys are like my second team, and I know how much Patty loves you guys. I know how much effort and love and intention she puts behind her leadership. And that's something that I'm here to talk about today because I love talking leadership. Leadership is one of my favorite topics, and it is not something that came naturally. It is something that took a lot of time, a lot of experience, a lot of failing, and a lot of moving forward. Okay. So I am super excited to talk to you guys. If you're here, say hi, Auntie Colleen. I'm just joking with you. Some of you newer consultants are probably like, who is this psychopath? It's just me. So I'm going to take a sip from my coffee. You guys know, if you don't, I am coffee obsessed, and this is how I get my brain juices flowing every day, every morning, no matter what. So if you're drinking your coffee, like me, let me know. Hi, Julie. Hi, Lyric. Hi, Becca. Hi, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so if you're ready to learn about leadership, or you're looking to grow your leadership, or maybe you're new in your leadership, let me know below. Let me know below. All right, because a lot of times we feel like we're being thrown into leadership, like we've never had any kind of leadership or maybe management, title or experience. So I am good, Becca. I'm good. So, it's all new to us, but this entire business from start, there is no finish. There's no finish. So I can't say from start to finish, but from the very beginning, this business is learned. Every single aspect and step of it. Learned, learned, learned. Okay? And it's learned through the amazing people that have gone before us and are here to teach us and train us and give us their life experiences with Sensi. And it's learned through your own trials and errors. That is how you grow and you learn. So don't be afraid to make a move and take action. That's what's going to help you. Even, guys, I didn't get here because everything went right. I didn't get here because I have good luck. I got here because I worked my butt off and I did a lot of wrong things. I said a lot of wrong things and it didn't go right. I heard the word no. I still hear the word no. But you know what? It has just made me better. Okay. So I have notes and I need them because just like your girl Patty, I am a super squirrel and will go everywhere if I don't keep this under control. Hi, Patty. Okay. So first of all, I went on and on because I just assumed that you guys know who I am, but I'm Colleen Regan. I am from Beantown. That's Boston, if you guys don't know, right? Patty and I always say Uptown meets Beantown. That's us too, right? So I'm out of Boston, Massachusetts. I am a star director. I joined in May 2016, promoted super duper, uber duper duper quickly. I never even tried direct sales. I never even tried Sensi. No experience. Never sold a cookie, glass of lemonade in my life. No clue. Okay. So I'm not going to get into my whole story. I'm just going to tell you about leadership, what I think being a good leader is, and how you can apply some of these into your own leadership. Okay. So the actual definition of leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Now with Sensi, right? First of all, I'm not going to look at these comments because if I do, this will take 40 minutes longer than it even needs to be. I will check the messages when I'm done. So if you have a question, you can leave it in the comments and I'll look later, or Patty will let me know, okay? So with Scentsy, being a leader means you have one teammate or more. Just one. You just need one teammate to be a leader, okay? So you may feel like you're not ready. Well, congrats, you're a leader. So to grow past certified, to promote, to increase your pay, your commission, to earn incentives, or to just build it big, you have to step into an intentional leadership role, you guys, okay? So we talk about recruiting and we talk about sponsoring. Now, recruiting is not being a leader. Recruiting is an IPA, it's an income producing activity, but it is not being a leader, okay? Recruiting is just the act of having people join your team. Sponsoring is more leadership, okay? It's mentoring, guiding, giving the tools and the resources, and, you know, leading with love and giving them a fair chance and helping them become the best consultant that they can be, okay? So there is a big difference between recruiting and sponsoring and leading, okay? So I'm just looking at my notes here. So when you become a leader, first and foremost, you need to know why your recruit or your new teammate is even joining, okay? In order for you to be a good leader to this consultant, you need to know before they press join why they're joining. Because if you don't know why they're joining, you can't help them reach their goals. And this whole leadership thing is about you helping them meet their goals, not your goals, their goals, okay? When you listen, being a good leader is listening. So you should be listening to why they want to join Scentsy and what their goals are before they join, okay? So when you're listening, you know why they're joining and where you're going to take this business and where you can help them and what tools and resources you can provide for them, okay? That's being a good leader. You should have an onboarding system for every single consultant, okay? This is a system that you provide for every single new teammate, regardless if they, you know, if they want their Scentsy at a discount, or regardless if they want to build a huge business. Everybody should have the same onboarding system, no matter what, okay? Now, I do things a certain way. You can do things your way. That's the best thing about being a leader, is you can do things your way. You have the creative control to do, to create your own system and do what works for you, okay? That's the best thing. So if it's working, continue to do that. If it's not, as a leader, you need to step back and figure out what you can do to create a smoother, simple system to get everybody up and running, okay? Onboarding is huge. You need to meet them where they are, okay? So being a good leader is not about pushing your goals and your achievements and, you know, doing all the talking and saying, you know, this is what you need to do. This is how you're going to, you know, promote to lead. This is how you're going to earn that incentive. Again, it goes back to listening. You need to meet them where they are. So if you know when they first joined that they only want their Scentsy at a discount, well, guess what? That's what you're going to help them do. You're going to help them just get their Scentsy at a discount. Maybe that's just getting them active. If they want to build a huge business with a lot of residual income, and they want to grow a team and they want to earn those big incentives, well, then you know you're going to work a little bit more closely with them, and their goals are going to be a little bit bigger and more in depth, right? But you need to meet them where they are, because you want to push them up, right? And help them be the best consultant they can be based on their goals, and not push them out. And I'm saying this from experience because I have pushed so many people out. And I'm being completely honest and transparent with you guys. I have pushed people out. When I first joined, this is all part of me being where I am now and learning from my mistakes, right? Back then, like, I didn't even realize that I was making mistakes. I just wanted to do the best that I could, and I wanted to grow my business, which is the first indication that I wasn't doing something right, is because I was so focused on growing my business that I wasn't listening and I wasn't being a good leader because I was forcing my goals and my vision onto those consultants in my team. Okay? So you have to meet them where they are and you need to hear what they want to do with this business. And I'll tell you, you will be way more effective. They will be way more effective if you help them meet their goals, whether it is super small and they just want money to get their nails done, or whether it is they want to make a, $700 check every month. You will help them be more effective by helping them just meet their goals. Because once they start to meet their goals, they're going to feel more empowered. They're going to build more belief and confidence that they can do this. They'll be willing to do more and make bigger goals. Okay? But if you're throwing your vision and your goals on them, then you're going to push them out. I promise you, I'm speaking from experience. Okay? And you may or may not know, you guys, but most of your team are not going to be your rock stars. They're not, okay? Most of your team are hobbyists. Most of your team are just getting active. Most of your team just may not be actively working like we do. And that's the truth, okay? You may have a rock star, maybe one out of every 10 people that you recruit or you sponsor, right? So not everybody is going to have the same mindset as you. So you have to meet them where they are and help them be the best version of themselves and the best consultant that they can be. Okay? So that means giving them the tools and resources that they need. Okay? Giving them, showing them where they can find information, showing them, showing them the information that they need to be successful. Like you can find this on the news tab, letting them know this information exists, letting them know about, the YouTube channel. We want to create independent consultants, okay, which I'm going to get into in a little bit, talking about duplication, okay? So being a good leader means leading with love. This is hard. This is hard, okay? Because you have so many different personalities of so many different people, lots of women. It can get hard. Leadership isn't easy, you guys. It's not. It's not something that, you start to recruit people and then your business just falls into place. That is not what happens, okay? You have, as I said in the beginning, when you want to build a business, earn incentives, any of these things, promote, you have to step into an intentional leadership role. Okay? It is not fly by the seat of your pants. It is not something that is handed to you. You have to work at this. All right? So leading with love is having your team's best interest. Okay? Leading with love and having your team's best interest is when you can see things from a bigger picture, okay, and see what your team needs as a whole and be able to provide that for them. When you're not getting upset over their performance, or maybe they've had a change of interest, okay? We see so many people come and go in this business, okay? Again, not everybody has the same vision and goals as you do. So if your team or your, new consultant or a leader under you isn't performing the way that you want them to, you have to take a step back and you got to check yourself. Okay? Because leading with love means not getting upset over their performance. Okay? You cannot do that, you guys. It's not fair. All right? It's not fair. It's uncalled for. And they can feel that. Okay? That's, if you're getting upset over those things, listen, it's normal. We've all been there. Sometimes naturally we still can go there, right? But having their best interest, meeting them where they are, and guiding them with love, right, is supporting them. It's also helping them feel valued and seen and supported, in creating a culture and a community, right, where they feel like it's different than everything else, where they feel like they belong, where regardless if they are a brand new consultant, a seasoned consultant, whether they are, here for a discount or here for the big things, that they still feel seen and valued. Okay? As a leader, you're always going to pour into and develop where your money is coming from. Okay? You're always going to pour into what drives your business, which are your leaders and your rock stars. But the majority of your team are the hobbyists. Okay? So how do you reach those people? It's by the culture and the community that you create. Okay? It's by talking about products. It's by, having a culture and a community that's for everybody. Everybody. But speaking of feeling seen and valued, guys, recognition, building confidence, shout outs, team mail, texts, things like that go such a long way. You do not have to spend millions and millions and millions of money. You don't have to do that. But whatever you are doing, you need to do it consistently. You cannot send team mail out 1 month and not do it for the next 7. Okay? Do whatever works for you. You don't have to do what Patty does. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do what Jen and Kristen do. Do what works for you, but do it consistently. All right? So if that is, you doing shout outs, updates once a week on your team page, great. Keep doing it. If that means you are sending a text message out once a month to, your big performers, or, whatever it is, do it consistently, you guys, because you may not be a person that thrives on recognition, but girl, trust me, okay? Like Patty said, recognition is free. It is free. And what it does is so underrated. Recognition builds confidence. It builds belief. And more than half the time, confidence and belief is what fuels motivation. And it all is one big cycle. And when people feel confident and they feel like they can believe in themselves and they believe in this business and the opportunity that they've created, they will be motivated and they will do more. Okay? So recognition goes such a long way. Make sure you are doing shout outs, whatever you want to do. Again, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Leading with love is also having a positive culture. Okay? A positive culture, you guys. So that means having a zero negativity policy. Okay? That means even when you're having a bad day, okay? Even when you feel like you want to complain about something, okay? You don't do it. You don't go to your team page. You don't throw fuel on fire. If there is a flash sale going on and items are selling out, flying off the shelves like they always do, okay? If you have teammates going on there feeling frustrated, which they do, it's understandable. Guys, yeah, I get frustrated too. Trust me, right? The worst possible thing that you could do is go onto that team page, comment under somebody else's negative comment, and be like, yeah, girl, I know this sucks. Like, this is so unfair. Why does Scentsy do this? No. Because what you're doing is you are literally allowing you're opening up the gates for everybody else to come in and do that. Okay? Some people are complainers. And I'm not saying anything, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying some people are complainers, right? And they tend to see the dark side of things instead of the bright side of things, right? They're they're a pessimist instead of an optimist. And so we as leaders need to create the culture where, guys, listen, we have to see the bright side of things. And we have to let that be known, especially on our team pages, okay? Like, listen, I totally understand, validate, but be the person that shows the silver lining, okay? Be the person that if there's a negative comment that goes up on your team page, you got to nip it in the bud, okay? And you got to say, message them directly, guys, I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm going to take your comment down because there's newer consultants on these team pages. And if they see comments like this, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to second guess themselves. Doubt's going to set in. They're going to be like, wait, this company, like, what is happening? It just opens up such a can of worms, okay? And no negativity means no drama. Guys, we are grown women, and the last thing that we need is drama. We're grown women. Most of us have children. We need no drama, okay? This is Sensi that we're talking about. We're helping people be the best version of themselves. So if you feel like you want to be negative, check yourself. And you need to go and call your friend Susie on the phone, okay? And make sure Susie isn't in your downline. She can be your sideline. She can be your upline. She can be your sister that's not even with Sensi. Call Susie and tell Susie what's going on. Tell Susie what's going on and get it out. Just get it out. And if somebody is coming to you, because you're a leader, you will have your downline come to you. And if your downline comes to you to complain, do not be that person that gets into it and is like, yeah, I know, this sucks. Like, oh, I wish this didn't happen. I know. And if they come to you about a personal or relationship issue within their team or downline, do not get involved with talking about anybody. Because truly and honestly, okay, you should truly and honestly try to be the best version of yourself. And when you're a leader, you set the tone. So if you're having these private conversations with your teammates, which you will, if you haven't already, you will, you need to be the person that talks them off the ledge and says, it's fine. Because once they keep having these conversations with you and you let them know, hey, it's all right, don't, just let it go. We're too grown. Don't even acknowledge that. Like, this is what you can do moving forward. Then they're going to start picking up on that. And that's what they're going to do with their team in the future. Okay? So when I say having a positive, zero negativity, drama, culture, and community is important, it is one of the most important parts of being a leader. Okay? You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be fake, but you do have to be positive. Okay? And once you continue to be this way, it's going to become natural to you. One of my biggest pet peeves is negativity, is complainers, is woe is me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves now, because I practice so hard to just see it's fine. We're selling Sensi. We're not curing cancer. We are doing great things for a lot of people and bringing joy into people's lives through these products. But guys, it's Sensi. We can all relax. Being a good leader is having hard, truthful conversations with people. Yes, it's hard. It's hard to have truthful conversations with people, but it is 1000% necessary, okay? If you're doing a coaching call, or if you're working closely with somebody, or if somebody comes to you and wants to vent and, just like I'm talking about, they want to vent up and they come to you for guidance or, an issue, a personal issue, whatever it is, you need to be able, you're a leader, all right? You need to be able to be mature enough and honest enough and truthful enough to tell the truth, even if that's something they don't want to hear. I've heard many hard truths from my coaching calls. And you know what? It is exactly what I needed. Maybe at the time I felt like there was a hair across my butt and I didn't want to hear it. But you know what? After I calmed down, I was like, you know what? He's right. And how can you be better, right? How can you make somebody else better if you're not willing to hear the truth and tell the truth? Okay? Am I saying you need to be mean to anybody? Absolutely not. But you know what happens when you tell people hard truths? You become trustworthy. you become trustworthy. You become credible, which I'm going to get into. Okay? Having hard conversations is a part of leadership. You will come across it, and there's always a diplomatic, loving way to do it, but it's necessary. Okay? This is one of my favorites. Being a good leader is having no expectations. What? Oh, girl. When I first joined Scentsy, I had all the expectations. Hence, why I said in the beginning, I pushed my people out because I expected them to want this the way I wanted it. I expected them to work their business the same way that I did. I expected them to put the same amount of time aside to work their business that I did. Okay? It doesn't happen that way. Okay? You should have, and I want to show you something on my notes. Where am I? See this? No expectations. I have it in capital letters and underlined. No expectations, you guys. Because I need to refuel. Keep me going for the next few minutes. Okay, so no expectations. When we put expectations on our team, it is completely unfair. Okay, it's not something that they ask for, nor do they deserve. You would not like it if your leader or your upline put expectations on you. It's not something that you asked for. If you put expectations on your team, that means you expect them to be you. You expect them to work their business a certain way. You expect them to perform a certain way. And all expectations do is lead to disappointment. Every time. Every single time. You're going to become resentful, and so are they. Okay? You're not going to be building anything good. You're not coming from a loving place. You're not leading by love if you put expectations on your team. And then when you create disappointments, it builds up animosity, negativity, resentment. Okay? What you can have expectations of is yourself. You cannot control your team. You cannot control anybody. You're not a boss. You're here to guide and mentor and give tools and resources. Okay? But you can only control yourself in your own business. So if Sally and Jane and Sarah aren't working their business, well, guess what? You need to go recruit more people. That's it. Okay? That's it. Because things change. People's interests change. Okay? Their life circumstances change. And the only thing that you can control is yourself and your expectations of yourself and your business, not theirs, your business. Okay? So when you have this mentality of no expectations on my team, just myself, you're going to see that you're going to work harder. Okay? Because you're not waiting on your team to do what you think they should do. This is your business. Okay? It's your business. You have control. Duplication. As a leader, okay? I mean, honestly, I want to say from the very start, whether you have one person or 100, especially when you step into or promote to director, one of your main objectives is duplication. You should be hard focused on duplication, okay? And duplication is how to create simple systems in your organization so that everyone can pick them up themselves and then teach their own team, okay? So if nobody's working their business but you, are there simple systems in place to create that duplication so that everybody can do this, so that you're creating an organization, not just, boom, you, okay? Duplication is what is going to build your organization. Duplication happens when your job is desirable and not overcomplicated. If your team sees you complaining, doing all these crazy things, snappy attitude, like if you are, putting all these things together and, sending all these packets and doing all these things, right? Scheduling all these calls. They're thinking to themselves, do I want to do what she does? Is that what being a leader is about? Because if so, I'm good. I'm good. I'll get my nail money and be straight. Okay? So you need to make sure and do like a self-reflection test on yourself and think, how is my team perceiving me? Like, how am I putting myself out there? Okay? There's a very thin line of being transparent and honest. You should talk about your struggles, but when you talk about your struggles, make sure that you're talking about a solution and a positive piece of that and turning the message around. Okay? If you are acting crazy and desperate and bossy and like you are a dictator, and I hate to say it like that because I'm hoping and assuming most of you are not, but trust me, there are people out there that are. And you know what that does? People are watching and they're like, oh my gosh, I want nothing to do with that. I would never want to be a leader if that's what I have to do. Okay? So duplication is also creating independent consultants. It is not duplicatable for you to be calling your teammates every single day, to be setting up coaching calls every single day, to be answering their messages any ungodly hours of the day. It is not duplicatable. What you can do for 500 is the same that you should be doing for 10. Learn from my mistakes, okay? Because at 10 people, I was like, you know what? I can do coaching calls. Boom, 3 times a week. You know what? I got 10 people. I can send them gifts every single time they do something good. You know what? I got 10 people. I'm going to do all these things for them. But as your team grows, you guys, okay? Again, systems, keeping it simple. You need to set the tone and do what you can do for 500, the same as you would do for 10. Like, the same as you would do for 500 is what you would do for 10. You guys know what I mean. I'm getting tongue-tied. But it is not duplicatable, okay, it's not duplicatable to be doing any of those things, okay? I know that you want to, especially when you're training a new consultant or when you're a new leader, you want to give them all the things. You want to hand them the answers. You want to be on the phone with them, answering all their questions. You'll do the work for them, right? No, that is not duplicatable. You're creating a monster by doing that. The best thing that you can do for anybody is to create boundaries, business hours, okay? Boundaries is, do you have a 24-hour rule? If somebody messages me something, listen, I know that I've given them the tools and resources they need to succeed, that they need to find an answer, or, nothing's an emergency in Sensi. I really can't think of anything that I would need to have somebody banging down my door calling 911, right? Like, you don't need to be giving anybody your husband's phone number so they can reach you in the middle of the night if they have a question that they need to be answered. Like, these are the things that I used to do when I first joined Sensi and became a leader, okay? And then I realized I was getting burnt out. I was spreading myself too thin, and I needed to create boundaries. Good leaders create boundaries, okay? If somebody messages me a question, I may see it. Sometimes I don't, but I may see it and be like, I know that can be answered on the workstation. I'm going to give it some time. So if it's that important, you're going to have to go and find that answer out, because we have so many resources. We have the workstation. We have the training center. We have team pages, upline team pages. We have so many different training groups and pages and groups on Facebook. And then we have YouTube. Okay? You have to create boundaries. I have business hours. Okay? My business hours are, you can reach me from this time to this time, because I am my own boss. I do Scentsy to create a life that I want for me and my family. So sometimes I can't answer you at that time because I'm creating my life through Scentsy by what's best for me. Okay? I'll get back to you. But in the meantime, I've given you tools and resources to be the amazing independent consultant that you can be. Okay? If you don't have boundaries, you're going to burn out, you're going to lose joy, and you're going to want to quit. Okay? That means you're giving too much of yourself and you're overcomplicating it. Okay? So you need boundaries. Being a good leader, hold on, let me look at my notes. I'm almost done here. Being a good leader, you need to build trust and credibility. Okay? Trust and credibility is so big. You need to do what you say that you're going to do. If you say you're going to have a team meeting, you need to have the meeting. You can't keep canceling it last minute. If you say that you're going to show up and you're going to do this, then you need to do it. Okay? If you say that you're going to book the parties, you're going to work on your IPAs, you're, putting this system in place, which is also leading from the front. If you say you're going to do that, you need to do it. Okay? Because if not, you're not trustworthy and credible. How can you work with anybody closely or help guide and mentor anybody if you're not doing those things? You have to do what you say you're going to do. You have to lead from the front and do it first, yourself, in your own business. Okay? You cannot be giving advice because it's not credible if you're not doing it yourself. And if you don't have trust and credibility with your team, they're going to look at you like, okay, right? You need to be building a successful business. You need to be, walking the walk and talking the talk, right? You have to be. So are you booking parties? Are you front loading your calendar? Are you recruiting? Do you have simple systems that you're putting in place? And if not, don't schedule any coaching calls. What you need to do, again, this kind of goes into boundaries. But the first half of your business, the first half of the month, you should be focusing on your business. A good leader focuses on their business first and foremost. A good leader puts their business first. There's one of two things that usually happen when you become a new leader. And I'm not here to blame you because I've been probably both, right? I've probably been both. But when you're a new leader, you're either focusing so much on yourself and your business that you're not pouring enough into your team and nobody's growing, or you're pouring so much into your team that your business is slacking and you're not even getting your 500 PRV and booking your parties, recruiting, and doing all these things. Okay? Your business always comes first. So the first half of the month is for Colleen's business. And then I'll do my coaching calls, because if my business isn't straight, how am I going to give Sally and Sarah and Jane any advice to get that done from my experiences and what I know works and what I can, this is what's worked for me. I can give you a jumping point. But guys, you can't guide anybody if you're not doing it yourself, right? Your business always, always, always comes first. And the last and final thing that I want to say is, with your business coming first, a good leader continues their personal development. Always. If you feel like, boom, I promoted to director, I've arrived, or boom, I recruited somebody this month, so I don't have to think about recruiting for the rest of the month, your business is going to come to a halt and then start to spiral. Okay? Guys, sales, sponsoring, training is forever and ever and ever. Okay? Personal development is forever and ever and ever. I still do coaching calls. I still do coaching calls with my upline. I still, whenever I get a chance, I will sit my butt down and I will find something. I love YouTube the most. I'll go on YouTube. I will find something that motivates me and inspires me, because Patty and I talk about this all the time. If you can't inspire if you're not inspired. So as a leader, you need to know when and where to kick yourself in the pants. And if you're not motivated, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to wait for somebody to knock on your door and deliver you motivation? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So you need to know, self-awareness, what motivates you. Me, I know I've got to watch some personal development videos. I always have to be better. Okay? Things change, trends change, this business changes, people change, okay? You've got to always personal development, okay? Actually, I have one more thing and then I'm done. As a leader, you always need to be identifying and developing new leaders to create that duplication. If you're not working with people that you've identified, okay, because again, the majority of your team are not going to be rock stars. But if you don't pick those rock stars and recognize them and work closely to help build them up and hit their goals so they do the same thing to create the duplication, right, then you're staying in one spot. A good leader is always creating and developing new leaders, always. And when those leaders promote, they hit director and star director, well, then guess what? You should be looking at your team, your TWV, your active frontline, and being like, okay, who's on this? Who's up next? Who's up next? And who wants to work closely with me? Because I'm going to help you. Okay? Developing and identifying new up and coming leaders, always, 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 always. So that's it. Some of this went out of order, but I literally I'm a squirrel too. So anyways, I went over what I thought I was going to do. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. I hope you got some value and information out of this. And I look forward to seeing you guys thrive and grow and being the best leaders that you can be, because you literally have the best one in the game to learn from. Me. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Patty. I learned from Patty. I am so lucky to have a best friend for life who's also somebody that I learn from all the time. Okay? You guys are very lucky. And she's lucky to have you guys. All right? So it's a win-win. I love you guys. Happy hump day. And enjoy your day.